Bruce, hey, it's Derek. I'm sorry I've been afar communicatively. I need to see you. I know I like connecting the dots presents a problem for me so many times in life when the most important thing I could do usually is to see a certain person or to meditate or just to see myself and be present and alone, which very rarely happens these days. But I think I'm just juggling too much. There's these two businesses at once, which I don't know. I feel like I've bit off more than I can chew. Meanwhile, the thing that what you encouraged me to do stuck with me, to pursue this voting application, this sort of like new this updated version of like a true democracy through technology. We talked a little bit about it last time we got together, but I've advanced the plot. I'm working on it actually with my brother Josh and a few other people, a few user experience designers, that sort of a thing. So there's another thing I've bit off, but this is this is such a critical juncture in history, and as you and I both know, it's almost as if yes, the singularity. It feels like everything's coming to a head, and in that, I would love to make regularized time to see you, because you are a mentor that has been a witness to the the sort of like internal and intellectual growth throughout my life, and I very much respect your perspective. So yes, your perspective is a part of the many-colored glass, the lens that I see the world through, and it was imbued young, and I appreciate that, and I want to see you, so let's make it happen. And you've been so awesomely connected. I've read every email you wrote. Sometimes it might seem like I'm not absorbing it, because I have that like ADD block where I just like read something and then it excites me into a thought process, and then I need to read something that you referenced, and then someone else, something happens and I don't get to actually make the response and call back, and I'm trying to be better at that. So the best way I like to do this, honestly, over writing, is to just speak, and to I'm sending it through this digital channel right now, this tube of sorts, and it's just I kind of take my phone out and hit the button, and and then this happens. So anyway, I love you, Bruce. I tremendously want this is a crazy time. Sometimes I realize I'm just sort of like I've been learning to slow down the process of communicating, because as you know, there's too much going on. I'm trying to take that energy, bring it into the heart space, and then speak. So with that in mind, as far as the elk thing went, don't worry, I wasn't offended by it. I was just speaking my mind about my feelings around, guns, killing of an animal, that sort of, it doesn't, anytime we eat, whether we eat animals, plants, or anything, broccoli probably cries when you rip it from the ground. I think there's no way around brutality. It's in nature, it's in everything. But I am coming to this point where it's like, if I do eat something, if I do kill something, I want it to die with absolute respect and absolute honor, and to actually connect to it. That's why I know that eating, in this whole growing operation now that I got going in Quincy, it's pretty crazy to see. It's a lot of cannabis. Yeah, like something like 8,000 plants growing right now. It's pretty exciting. We're going to be in stores in July. But the biggest thing I care about with that is that, we went through a very long selection process with the growers, because to me, something that is going to psychoactively affect you, it's a great responsibility to bring that into the world. And I believe, and this is just a theory, that, if you look at the cannabis plant close up, there's little crystals. I believe that we also know how it affects people. Now, it's like, you can't take for granted the fact that perception of reality changes. I mean, how deep and powerful is that there's a plant that exists that has evolved the capability to completely change our perception. I mean, that's magic. That is magic. And so with that power of magic comes a great responsibility to imbue it with the right energy. The energy of the growers makes such a big difference. And so I'm learning everything there is to know about growing right now. We've got a couple master growers working on it around the clock, and I like to spend my time with the plants, but this is to connect to the elk shooting the elk culling, let's call it, by saying that just anything that we take, anything that we consume, I want to honor it. I want to love it, and to not feel like something was snipped or cut or killed in some factory farming way. And I'm not saying at all like that you've done anything of the sort. I think I've been coping with reality's brutality. Like in a deep way, it's been this little sticking point between me and God, cosmic mother, father, whatever. Like that is, I'm not a religious man, but I am a spiritual one. I do feel that there is something larger going on here. And so I think that in the same way, I think it's kind of that karmic thing where you treat the beings around you with a certain regard and a certain energy, and then in some way the same thing comes through to you and those you love. And I've come to the perspective that, I think the power elite in our country look at this whole game like certain types of farmers that, if somebody's eating their crop, if a rebellious faction, a dissident, if there's civil disobedience, so to speak, in the way that the elk entered your property, how does it dealt with? I'm making this way too metaphorical. I mean, honestly, look, I respect you, Bruce, sorry, and I hope I didn't come across any other way. I also want to say that, yeah, like, this is a very tangential flow. I'm actually just meeting here at the spot where we're picking up a bunch of, I had a moment waiting in the car for someone to arrive who just arrived. We're picking up what are called clones, a few hundred of these baby cannabis plants to bring to the farm. Yeah, it's crazy to be doing this absolutely legally with the paperwork, like driving around with thousands of these plants, which, just 10 years ago would have been a completely illegal thing. I mean, people got raided with machine gun SWAT teams for this stuff, and now we can do it with a piece of paper on the door that says, yeah, this is what we're doing. Also, this is why Heraclitus is right, because it does move and change. I mean, society is moving and changing rapidly. Our lives are moving and changing rapidly. So I'm curious what you meant when you said that he's wrong. So that you've opened a conversation that I'd very much like to have. Movement. I mean, I'm curious what your perspective is about, like, maybe you're just being coy, but I mean, what doesn't move and change? What doesn't grow? What doesn't evolve? Whether it's an individual's perception and their movement through the fractal of life, or it's, on the metasocial level. Going back to so much of the things we talked about, it's like, between the body, the cell, the atom, all of them are moving, all of them have relationships, and there is this, like, just constant change and flow. Anyway, per usual, I'm kind of like going on. I know I'm probably expected to go complete the meeting here. That I was let's see. Okay. Yeah. So I better go. But this is just the. I would like. Let's meet up soon. Let's meet up. What is a good day? How about we just need to put a stake in the ground. This is definitely a stake in the ground type of thing. Because I think, and I liked the idea you proposed. Let's grab a bottle of wine. I'm sure, I would love to hang out with you and your wife and bring Kayla along, and and just have a good yeah, we should go, let's have dinner like outside in your yard or something. We should make a little, we could bring a salad and some wine, and you guys could, you know what, you guys have a whole garden worth of stuff, right? We could probably be, I'd love to try anything you've grown. I would love to. I believe that the energy of a grower is very powerful, and it gets into the crop itself. I think that there is something there. I think intention makes a, and you know, that might be just some hippie shit that I believe, but I don't really care what it is. It's what I've experienced. Okay. Cool. Well, warm vibes, and I'll see you soon. All right. How about like, but we must gather by the end of April. I dare you. I dare me. Okay. Hit me back with 3 dates and times that would be good for you and your wife. I think that I remember you. I mean, you have a pretty flexible schedule, but I don't want to just assume that. I think for me, I can just say right now, today would be April 10th or so, 10th or 11th. If we met on like this Thursday or next Tuesday or Wednesday. Actually, maybe even this coming weekend. Maybe this coming Saturday might even be a good time. Something like that. All right, let's connect the dots. All right, signing off. Derek out. Talk soon, Bruce. Bye.